Hello again, everybody. This is the second time I've tried to do this now. The first time I did it, I got about 30 seconds in and it popped up with an error message saying that the service was down. It may still be down, I don't entirely know. But yeah, basically, I've been meaning to do one of these streams for a while and it's just completely got away from me, so I thought I'd jump on and play Friday the 13th now that I've got a little bit of time free. But I wanted to try something a little bit different tonight. Um, Basically, if anybody out there is a filmmaker or a scriptwriter or does anything to do with film or YouTube and is looking for a little bit of advice on how to improve their film or improve their scriptwriting, improve their editing, post a comment, let me know what you're doing, and I'll try my best to offer some advice. I've been a filmmaker now for about... God, how long has it been? I made my first film in 2006, feature film, so it would be about 12 years. I've got about 12 years filmmaking experience, and I was a professional editor for 4 years. I've got a degree in film, both film production and film theory. So yeah, feel free to ask me anything about your scripts or your films, and I will try my best to help you out as best I can. Hopefully this stream will actually stay up long enough for me to actually play a couple of games. But whilst this is going on, I'm just going to very quickly update the comments section on here. Oop, safety dance. Okay, so... There we go, so that's that sorted. So, it seems that I'm on my own in this group. I'll set the level whilst I'm here. Let's go for the Jarvis house. I think the Jarvis house is pretty cool. We'll do that. So yeah, like it says in the comments, if you have any filmmaking, scriptwriting or YouTube questions or issues and you want any advice on how best to help them, leave them in the comments. I'll try and get back to you as soon as possible. It'll probably be whilst this stream's going on. If the stream has already been and gone, post a comment in the bottom of this video and I'll reply to it as well. So, yeah. Still waiting for anybody to pop into this level so that the game can actually start. If it doesn't, this is going to be a very long stream with not a lot happening in it. I am thinking this will probably be the last Friday the 13th stream that I do for a bit on this channel, and it's largely because of problems like this. The loading times are just ridiculous for this game. You can sit here and just watch it do this, basically, for like up to half an hour. I mean, I've sat on one where it was 40 minutes and I was just like, this is not good. So I'm going to probably try a different game going forward. I have one in mind that I think could be quite a bit of fun, but we'll see how tonight plays out, and I'll make a choice from there. Oh, hello, King Asthor. 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 And TV Biscotti is on as well, which is always good. As is Super Beast 1222. Sorry I went a bit quiet there. I'm just sharing this out to the old social media. Want to make sure it's all groovy. I wonder if Instagram Direct thing is. Let's try that. Oh, it's just to send it to specific people. I don't need to do that. Yeah, I'm thinking of playing a single-player game next, if I do. Like I said before, I don't really intend to make these a regular thing. I just thought it would be quite nice to do it once in a while, because I get to talk to people when there are people on. Char Char Binks. Or is it Shar Shar? Shar Shar Binks 7. Oh, I do hope I get to play as Jason this time. I'd be ever so sad if I didn't. Ooh, Assassin's Cream. Assassin's Scream? Assassin's Cream. 1-3. And the other guy 070. Hey, we got enough to actually play a game now. That's good. Would be very good if they all agreed to play. So, I'm not really a football person, but I have been watching England in the World Cup. I don't know if they won or lost, to be honest. I couldn't care. This is how into football I am. I watched my first football match about 2 weeks ago, and it was England versus Colombia. And it was basically like what would happen if the WWE licensed FIFA. Big old wrestling match, hell of a lot going on. And it was fun. It was actually quite entertaining. I'd never sat through a football match before, but that was quite entertaining. Got a real Rocky IV vibe from it. But tonight I watched England v Croatia, and I got to the second half of it, and I was just like, yeah, I'm done. There's nothing for me here. They may have won. They're very unlikely to have won. In fact, I'll look that up whilst I'm waiting. Let's have a gander. See what's going on. Oh, need to save that tab, and boom. England v Croatia. Boom. Yeah, okay, Croatia won. Yeah, I'm not bothered. Right, the game begins. Hopefully I'll actually get to play as Jason, which would be nice because I enjoy playing as Jason. Let's have a quick drink. Oh yeah, I come prepared. Rogers 3416 sure is a noisy bird.
Oh God, what am I gonna do?
Right, so let's go in here. Yeah, so I've basically spent the last sort of 2 weeks finishing off Season 4 and starting Season 5, but I'm in a bit of a situation because I have a vote currently on my channel for what the Halloween theme should be this year. And Season 5, at least 5 episodes of Season 5 are going to be made up of Halloween-themed episodes. So basically, there's a big chunk of the season that I can't do until that poll finishes. Though at the minute it's looking pretty one-sided. So if you want to go and dig up that poll, and please do go and vote for it because I'd greatly appreciate it if you could. The winner will be announced in about 2.5 weeks' time. So it's a useful thing. It's useful for me because it means that, you know, you guys get to see what you want to see. So yeah, it's all DVD. Right, let's try and find some stuff. Nope, already got one of them. Back here. What's this? Wrench. Drawer with a map in it. Crack in. Get that. So yeah, the question tonight is, if you are a YouTuber or a filmmaker or a scriptwriter and you have a question about how to make your channel or videos or films better, please leave a comment and I will try my best to get back to you. Pop that down there. Get this back up. Why not there? No, it's like I say, I really do enjoy this game. It's just the loading times are ridiculous. That, and the fact that now I know they're not going to add anything extra to the game, it's kind of killed any reason to replay it. Which is a shame, because it took so long to actually get good. And now they're just like, yeah, it's done. I'm like, oh, well, that's a shame. I was really enjoying this. I'm not going to get the flare gun, there's almost no point. Oh, where is he? Oh, hello. Bye-bye. Out I go. Oh, jeez. He's got me, Mama. We've all got weasels in our pants. Pump those crazy legs. Somebody's got the boat. Nobody's got the car. I need to get my stamina back up. Things are not looking good for me right now. Let's be honest here. Okay. Oh god, he's behind me, isn't he? I don't want this to happen this way. I was having such fun. Nobody else dead yet? I can't be the first person to die. I'm too handsome. Has he gone? Has he gone? Hope he's gone. Otherwise this will be most unpleasant. Get the old stamina up. Come on, come on, come on. Let's roll. The thing is, at this point I have no plan, because I haven't found anything that's of any use, and I don't know where anything is. So, I've got the map. The map isn't really telling me anything, apart from there's a boat coming vaguely around here. I might be able to jump on, actually, with a bit of luck. Let's see where it goes. Nope, it's gone. Well, that's a pain. Oh well, there's some guys over there. Let's go and see what they're up to. No. Calm yourself, you're going to give yourself woman's whiplash. I'm going to be a dead. I thought I was being smart, it turns out I was just being a bigger fool than everyone else. Oh, is he gone? Right, he might be teleported. He's teleported. Bugger. Come on. On a bit. We're the first dead? Oh, I'm the first dead. Oh. Well, this was a pain. It was inevitable, but it was still a pain. How's everybody else getting on? Ah! Well, at least I wasn't far behind me too. So yeah, to anybody potentially watching, if you haven't read the comments, tonight is a film and script writing and YouTube Q&A. If you have any films that you are currently working on, or any scripts that you're currently writing, or you have a YouTube channel and you want to improve it, leave a comment, let me know what your problems are, and I will try my best to help you out where I can. If, by the way, as well, I mentioned this at the start of the stream, but if the live stream has ended, please do still leave a comment. I will get back to you. What the bloody hell is she doing? Why is everything so bright? Three down, three to go. Oh. Where is he? There he is. There he is. No, just open the door, mate. Oh no. He's doing his best Forrest Gump, he's getting out of there. Hiding, hiding. Okay, running a bit, but... It's a big comment from Michael Sinfield. I want to say Seinfeld, but it's not. He's just commented on my Zoo Troop video. So, hello there, Michael. We'll respond to your comment in person, but I'll do it on the live, might as well. No harm. He says, I thought it was 2008 that the Zoo Troop came out. And no, Michael, it was 2007. In fact, I think they came out even earlier than that. If you count Rory's Tiger Club, they've been going since the 90s, maybe even the 80s. But the Zoo Troop, I believe, properly started in 2005, 2006, and the first DVD came out in 2007. So I hope I clear that up, Michael. You will probably never see this video, but I like to do my bit. Yeah, this game's going nowhere fast. Oh, where is he? Where is he? Where is he? Oh? Where is he? I don't know how they're getting their lights to look so bright. It's ridiculous. Oh, right, where is he? He's around here somewhere, I just don't know where.
Please, no!
Oh, he's back in the same house he was the first time. And this time he remembered to lock the door. Alright. Alright. Peekaboo!
Hi! You like that, huh? You like that, asshole?
I tried to do that and failed miserably. He's in trouble.
Fuck! You want some more?
This one's actually shaping up to be pretty interesting.
No! Fuck you,
Michael
Jason!
Sinfield has just left another comment on the Zootreat video where he says, "This really brings back memories." It did for me, Michael. It did for me.
Damn it! Just die! Just die! Die! Die!
I'm hoping to do a few more Zootreat videos in future, by the way. Because that first one was interesting. And it was nice to have that little nostalgic trip back to my own sort of childhood, playing at the seaside and getting to the beach and stuff. So, yeah, I might try and dig out another Zootreat one. I got that one completely by chance at a flea market, so... I mean, I don't know whether I'll pay extortionate funds.
He's killing me!
Oh. You dead? You dead. I don't think I'd pay extortionate fees for it, but, you know, I'd pay a bit to go and watch a bit of Zootreat again. There's one I've really wanted to do for a very long time, and I'm thinking of potentially doing a kids' TV season on my channel at some point in future. I've got loads of full month-long series plans I'd love to do. I just need to action them, really. I mean, the rest of Season 5 is pretty much planned because October is Halloween and there'll be a month with Halloween stuff, and December is Christmas, when there'll be a Christmas-themed month, which I've more or less got everything planned for. Which only really leaves September and November to fill, and I've already filled a good chunk of them with various episodes. I don't know how much I should say, really, but I've got a couple of collaborations in the works for that. There's a couple of bits and pieces that I might be doing on other people's channels, which will be good. With a bit of luck, all of it will pull together quite nicely. Oh. Where did she go? But, yeah. I've got a lot of stuff going on, and trying to fit in when these season episodes will happen is always fun. I don't think there'll be other than the Halloween specials and the Christmas specials, I don't think there'll be another themed month this side of the year. But next year I might try and get a couple of them in, because I've really enjoyed it. I mean, I really enjoyed doing alternative Doctor Who month, for example. got a comment through on Reddit. Minstoth says, "Hey TYTD, I loved your Gandahar review. Also nice to find an 80s post-apocalyptic B movie that I haven't seen. A real treat." This was in relation to my She review. Yeah, thank you very much, man. You know, I enjoyed watching She. It was recommended to me by a good friend Raymond. I do recommend to check out his channel. He's a very good guy. And I enjoyed it. I know a lot of people kind of have given me some feedback that She wasn't to their taste, and that's fair enough, because, you know, bad films are subjective. Some people love them, some people don't like them, and that's fine.
There will be others.
I enjoyed She. I thought it was a bit of a campy classic. I think it sort of fits in with that Barbarella style of cinema, which I always have time for campy classics. I really do. My only regret was that I was the first one out. And here we go again with the waiting game. Let's try and get some... Oh, precious nectar. I'm on water tonight. It's been quite a quiet evening so far. I'm gonna keep on keeping on, because yeah, I'm having fun. But yeah, like I say, if anybody pops in, if you don't see the comments, tonight is a film Q&A, script writing Q&A. So if you have a YouTube channel, or you're making YouTube videos, or you're making a film, or you're doing script writing, and you're having trouble, or you want some advice, or you just want somebody to check your work over to make sure it's looking okay, chuck us a message. More than happy to help you out as much as I can. I've been a filmmaker for, I worked this out, just 12 years. I've got a degree in film and an honours in film theory, particularly experimental and Arthouse theory, and I have been the manager of a post-production house for about 4 years. So, you know, it's kind of my thing. I'm not, by no means would I consider myself an absolute expert, but I feel like I'm qualified to be able to help out if I can. And I like helping you guys, because I always love hearing new ideas and new storylines, new plots, new video ideas, things like that. I get a buzz off helping people with that kind of stuff, so, you know, let me know in the comments, and I'll try my best to help where I can. I really hope I'm Jason on this one. I was Jason last time and I had a lot of fun. But these can be very long-winded when you're just the counsellor, because you die a lot, and when you die you just sat watching the match more than anything else. Lenny gotcha. Yeah, this is taking a long time, because 2 people haven't clicked go. Oh, there they go. Because 2 people didn't click go but they were still in the lobby, it meant that the timer would run down to its, like, final seconds before it would start the match, whereas if they clicked go, it starts in 10 seconds. That's another thing I don't like about this game. If everybody doesn't accept that they're in the lobby, you have to wait the full 3 minutes for it to tick down, which can be a real pain, especially when you get trolls in here who just, like, don't click until 10 seconds, then click. Also, if anybody watching this far knows what those numbers that keep ticking up and down, the 164 MS, are, let me know, because I genuinely don't know, and I'd be very interested to find out. It's not me again.
I gotta get out of here. Now.
Well, I don't know why I'm picking up the walkie-talkie. I'm on a private chat, so I can't hear them and they can't hear me. Hey, not bad. Right, so I've immediately got a map and a walkie-talkie. There are 2 cars on the map, and that is it. Is there anything else? Ooh, a battery! Great, I can get the car fixed with this. Oh, let's go and get this sorted. This has been remarkably quicker than expected. Ah, bugger. I always hate these. I've got itchy trigger fingers. There we go.
I hope I'm doing this right.
Right. Fuel. Let's have a look, see. If I can find fuel, then I've just got to find keys, and then we're good. Oh, it's already been thoroughly explored. I'm going to pick up the axe. Looks to me like it's already been thoroughly explored at least. Bummer. Nothing there. Oh god, what's he doing? Don't leave me! I tried to attack him, I really did. Am I back as Tommy Jarvis? I didn't even get a chance to die, and I'm already back as Tommy Jarvis. Hi guys, gonna cause some trouble. Right, what's going on in here? So I need to find some petrol. Once I've found petrol, I can at least try to get the car started and light running. Looks like somebody's been through here with a fine-tooth comb. Yeah, I don't think I'm getting anything out of here. rubbish car. Oh, this one's got fuel in, but it has... Oh. So what's happened now is it's made the odds of me finding a car with... finding a gas tank or the keys almost doubly unlikely. I'm going to keep the gun for now. I don't know why, I just feel like it might come in use. I'm going to have to drop it anyway as soon as I find a fuel tank, but... Over here. The old health bar ticking up. There we go. Alright, so I'm very close to the guy with the car. And I'm just going to stop here for a minute to recharge. Because Lord knows I don't want to bump into Jason with no stamina, because that would be a pain. Has he got the car moving? He hasn't got the car moving, he hasn't got the keys, I don't think. I really should have read the map first and foremost before I put the battery in that car, because that car's only going to be able to take 2 people. But I said sleepaway camp, I thought that would have run into a nice little Easter egg there. Oh god! Oh god. Thank you. Well, I've literally locked myself into a room. Anybody else dead? Oh, I'm one of the 3 left. I didn't die first. That's a plus. It seems everybody else is doing what I'm doing. Hiding in cupboards. Here for a bit. Sorry, let's go and have a look outside. I'm a big boy. I can look after myself. Yeah, I didn't think anybody would have dropped the keys on the ground near the car, because I'd have most likely have taken them up on that. I'm going to go and hide in here. Hopefully somebody will turn up with the keys. This looks promising. Oh dear. Suddenly this is less promising. Ah! Someone's dropped the keys. Haha. Thank you. Let's quickly other side, bloody American drivers. Come on,
Okay, all set. Time to get out of here.
What? No. No. Drive! Oh, buggeration.
Please, no!
I am naked and afraid. Come on, you're my friend.
No! Oh God! No! Ah! Damn it! No!
Bloody Jason. And I'm dead. Oh well.
Please! No!
Oh! Second wind! Thank you, you magnificent man, you.
Like that, asshole!
Right. Look. Come on. I have faith. We can do this. We can do this if we try our very best. Come on.
Okay, all
Got
set.
it.
Time to get out of here.
Oh, God.
Help!
Oh, jeez. Oh, you heartless man, you.
Fixed it. I'm out of here.
Come on. Oh, he killed him and me. Well, at least I had a noble death. It's not a noble death. Oh dear.
That's my good boy.
Okay, well...
Mommy has a reward for you.
I lasted
Come
longer
home.
than I thought I would last. So, I might as well take this opportunity again to say hello to anybody who's joined me tonight. I'm running a Q&A or an open surgery for people who are filmmakers and scriptwriters and YouTubers. So if you are making YouTube videos, or you're a filmmaker, or you're a scriptwriter, and you have any questions, or you want any advice, or you'd like a second opinion on something, leave it in the comments, let me know, and I will read it out and try my best to help you out. So I'm here to help you. I'm probably going to play, depending on how long this next match goes, I'm probably going to play one, maybe two more of these. I like to sort of take it to about an hour and a half. I think that's a pretty good run time. So, but yeah, so I'm thinking of starting the Nightmare on Elm Street films soon. I recently finished rewatching all of the Friday the 13th ones. I really enjoyed them. I thought they were good films. They were well made. I remember them. Watching them now, I feel more fond about them when I watched them the first time I watched them. Because the first time I watched them, I thought they were all a bit samey and a bit rubbish. But Rewatching them now, I like them a lot more. That's mainly why I'm playing the game as well, to be fair. I've also watched all the Child's Play films again recently, and I really enjoyed watching those ones again. I've got Child's Play 1 and 2 on original rental VHS tape, which makes me very happy. But yeah, I'm thinking of doing the Nightmare on Elm Street films. I'm not entirely sure how best to watch them, because I have them on videotape, DVD, and Blu-ray. Big fan of Freddy. Halloween's my favourite franchise, but Nightmare on Elm Street definitely has its charm. I'm thinking maybe watching the first one on VHS and the second one on Blu-ray, because the second one's had a lot of re-evaluation recently. A lot of people sort of think that it's a bit of a cult classic that sort of didn't get the recognition that it deserves. And having re-watched it a few years ago, I'm inclined to agree, because I didn't hate Nightmare on Elm Street 2. It is to the Nightmare on Elm Street films what Halloween 3 is to the Halloween franchise. It's kind of this, just a one-off, standout film that does its own thing, and it does it very well, I think, at least. So, now please let me be Jason. I've wanted to be Jason all night. I'm not Jason. Alright. We got so close the last time, so
Was that
I'm
real?
trying my best to
This can't be real.
do good this time around. What is in here? Anything good? No. What is over here? Anything in here? No. What about over here? Aha! Yes, I'm up. Brilliant. Apparently if I go aha, it means that good stuff happens. You! Aha! Nothing. Well, it didn't work. Okay. Let's see. Okay. That's good. Not doing much good because I've not been able to land a hit on Jason the entire night. So, well, I'll give it a go. There's nothing in there. Let's try and look over here. Ooh, there's a radio station thing. Is this telephone or police? Or is it Tommy Jarvis? It's Tommy Jarvis, right. Lock the door. Secure this place. Lock it down. Because as soon as I start radioing that, Jason's going to come for me and I'm going to die. And I would rather die knowing I can come back as Tommy Jarvis.
Anyone out there? You have to come to Camp Crystal Lake. Bring a gun. Oh, God. He's killing us. Jason's alive.
There we go. I like to consider that insurance against my own stupidity. Nope. Oh, it's the phone cell. That's useful. Right. No. That's not as useful because I'm not currently on public chat, but I suppose I could probably find a use for it. What's in here? Nothing. In here, nothing. Don't want the flare gun or anything in here. What's the phone box? You see it's on here, or is it? One of these houses... wouldn't have that, I prefer that. One of these houses has a police phone box, and I need to find it so that I can call the police. So it's neither of these two. It's over here. Let's have a look. Dum 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 dum. Yeah, da, 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 da. I'm glad I went for the smaller map on this one. I say I'm glad I went for the smaller map on this one. I'm glad whoever chose this level went for the smaller map on this one. Stamina. Hey Raymond, how's it going? Ladies and gents, this is Raymond watching along at the minute. He's a great little guy, got a wonderful YouTube channel, highly recommend you check it out. Contrary to popular belief, he uploads an absolute crap ton of reviews and they're all very, very entertaining. I highly recommend you check him out. He always plays himself down. He's always like, "Oh, I don't do as much as I'd like to." He does loads. It's ridiculous. Good stuff as well. Really good stuff. I was hoping there'd be a phone box around here. But anyway, man, how are you doing tonight? Is all well with yourself? I noticed you had some tasty treats today at work, which is always a plus. Bloody hell, 346 reviews. Yeesh. Did they not give you like a special play button or something for doing that much? I think you should have at least a service to YouTube for that one. 346, wow. I mean, I've done about, I think I'm on like 65 at the minute. So like, you're blowing me out of the water, man, at this point. Oh, Jason's over there. I can see him. Oh, great. Oh, great.
Why?
Get the hell out of here. Before he does that dastardly thing of waking up and mutilating me horribly. Oh dear, I'm out of stamina and he's jumping all over the blue place. Oh, great. Right, he's been busy chasing this car. Somebody fixed the car and drove off by themselves. Great.
Oh, fuck. Who is that?
Oh, time to rob a dead
God, I
person.
can't look. Help!
Oh, no, he's back on my tail. Oh, got me this time. Yeah, I'm dead. Okay, yeah, that's not good. Ow. Well, it was fun while it lasted. Wow, Tommy Jarvis looks old. Is Tommy Jarvis the only person? Tommy's the only person left. In true Friday the 13th Part 5 fashion? I want to say Part 5 fashion. I don't know what he's doing that for. I have no idea why he's doing that. Part 4. That's the one. Part 4 was the final chapter with little Tommy Robinson. Not Tommy Robinson? Little Tommy Jarvis. And then Part 5 was the one where he was in a... Part 5 was the one where he was in a reform camp. Part 6 was the one where he comes back to finish the job and he meets a woman who's the police chief's daughter, I want to say. It's been a long time. And then Part 7 is the psychic one, which, you know... I mean, my guilty pleasure is I have a soft spot for Part 8. I love Part 3. Part 3 is my favourite Friday the 13th film. But I have a soft spot for Part 8. Jason Takes Manhattan. It's the only film where Jason actually spends... The film is actually misleading because he spends like half the film on a boat. Actually, it's probably last this. Raymond, if you are still watching the stream, what's your favourite Friday the 13th film? Genuinely curious. I don't know how this guy's going to cope. I assume that Jason's just given up at this point. I got the parts mixed up. In my mind, I remembered Part 5 being the one where they resurrect him and he gets hit by lightning, and Part 6 being the one with the ambulance driver. It's the other way around. Yeah, Part 3 and Part 5 are my two favourite Friday the 13th films. I have a soft spot for Part 8, though. I didn't like Part 6. I remember Part 6 being the weakest of the original Friday the 13th films, in my opinion. Right up until I saw The Final Friday, Jason Goes to Hell, which is a terrible movie. It's really bad, and it tries very hard to tie it in with The Evil Dead, which doesn't endear me to the film. It doesn't help that Jason looks like a giant mouldy salami in that film. But I am not as fond of the original one as I probably should be. I need to watch it again. I've got it loaded into my VCR right now. Oh, Raymond, I feel so sorry for you. You had Jason Goes to Hell. Oh, no. You must have suffered so much with that, because, I mean, I watched Jason Goes to Hell once, and it was enough to make me not want to watch it ever again. I mean, I'm probably going to have to watch it at least one more time in my life, because I'd love to do some of the Friday the 13th films on my channel at some point, but I do not envy you in that position. Jason Goes to Hell is arguably the worst mainstream horror film from a franchise, in my opinion. And I count Halloween 5 and Nightmare on Elm Street 4 into that. Yee, bloody hell. Yeah, Jason Goes to Hell is not a fun watch. Well, in my opinion, at least. I'm sure there are people out there who like it. I'm sure there are people out there who think Jason Goes to Hell's a great movie, but... No, good choice with Part 3, though. I love Part 3. It gets a bit of a kicking because of the 3D gimmick. But I really like it. I've got a soft spot for it, in all honesty. I like the punks in it. The biker gang in it are a lot of fun. And I've got the 3D version on Blu-ray. So being able to watch the film as intended with 3D glasses in 3D is a real nice thing. I mean, I can only watch about an hour of it before I start getting headaches, but it's fun. It's a good, fun film. And I sort of consider it the quintessential Friday the 13th movie, because it does everything that you remember a Friday the 13th film for. Also, I have a very soft spot for Shelley and the hippie. I can't remember what the hippie's name is in Friday the 13th Part 3, but he's a lot of laughs in a Cheech and Chong kind of way. Jason the Grinch. Oh, the animated Grinch isn't a terrible film. I mean, I imagine if you had to watch it year round, then yeah, that would be pretty painful. But I have a soft spot for the animated Grinch. The Boris Karloff version's a bit of a Christmas staple for me over here. Who Framed Roger Rabbit? Yeah, that one would probably be great. I could imagine if you watched that, you know, on and off for however long you worked where you worked at. The fact that you say something else, I don't remember. There's probably like, it means it probably wasn't very good if you can't remember what it was. I take it we're not talking about a Kickboxer Terminator or a Cold Fire here. It's probably going to be something a bit rubbish. But yeah, no man, that sounds tough. I don't think I could cope with a break room that only had those. I'd probably bring my own films in fairness, if I was ever in a situation like that. I'd live with the pain of knowing I probably would never get them back. Oh, the match is over. Okay. Tommy Jarvis was gotten. And no one was really surprised.
My sweet, sweet Jason. Mommy is proud of you. Now come home.
Actually, you know, funnily enough, thinking about it, in my current workplace, they have a breakout space, like a break room, and they have bookshelves all arranged in this break room, and people can come in and leave books, or take books. It's sort of like a take or leave thing. If you take a book, you have to leave a book in return. And on the bottom shelf in the corner, and I only noticed this the other day, there are actually a stack of VHS tapes. Now, this place is a very trendy, modern building. It has no VCRs anywhere near it, and I'm pretty sure it's one of those buildings where if you took a VCR into it, it would just burst into flames, because it's not cool enough. But yeah, they've got this random stack of VHSs in there, and I have been fighting every urge not to take them home with me, because there's stuff like Pulp Fiction in there, and what was the other one? There was another one that I was looking at and I was thinking, oh, I've got to have that. I think it was one of the Halloween films. I think it was like Halloween 6. And I was just sitting there thinking, right, first of all, who bought these in? What did they trade to take it out? And should I try my luck on this one? And I was very tempted, I really was. And I might still take it at some point. I mean, I'll have to leave something. I don't know what I'll leave in return for it. I'll probably take Crazy Guy with Super Kung Fu, or Alien Species or something, and just dump it off in there in exchange for it. I think that's a fair trade. Alien Species for Pulp Fiction seems kind of reasonable to me. But I mean, the thing that gets me is I don't know who thought it was a good idea to leave those even there, because nobody there seems even remotely interested in things like VHS tapes, and nobody there even seems remotely interested in taking them. Yeah, I could leave, I think I've got Kickboxer 2 or 3. I'll leave Kickboxer 2, I think. Yeah, no, that's a good idea, Ray, actually. I might do that. I think I might take in Kickboxer 2 and leave that. I have got a very ropey copy of Invasion USA that I might take in. Or I might screw with them and just take, like, really controversial films and swap them. So, like, you know, Pulp Fiction for Necromantic, or Halloween 6 for Sarlo, and just see what happens. I'm not one to court controversy, but I think that could be quite fun. Just take a couple of Blu-rays in, leave it, and let the magic work itself out. They'll never know who left them, and they'll never know why they were there in the first place, which could be quite fun. Just love the image of just somebody walking in and seeing Necromantic on the shelf and going, I'm going to take that home and watch it. I don't know what it's about, but it could be fun. Oh, they are in for a treat that night. Oh, right, I know. I'll take I've got a duplicate of Pink Flamingos. I might take that in and swap it for Pulp Fiction. Give them a good John Waters movie, a bit of Papa Umau Mau. Might sort them out. This is how I lose my job. Double Impact. You know what? If I remember correctly, I've got a right. Winding back a little bit. I've got a for people who don't know, I've got a massive box of VHS tapes that I inherited off somebody near where I live. They were having a house clearing, and they found their stash, and it's basically like it's at least a 2.5 to 3 foot high by about 3 to 4 foot long box. Yeah. And it's full of VHS tapes, just full to the brim with VHS tapes, and they're all mainly martial arts and action films. And I swear that I had seen Double Impact. Now, Raymond's just said that he thinks that it was in the first box that I unpacked. Both of those boxes are now merged into the one big box because I've been slowly working through them. If I find that, I might just copy it and take it into work and sort of leave it there. Build up a good pile of really crap tapes and just watch the magic unfold. Oh, it's not me again. I'm not Jason again. Might as well face it, I'm never going to be Jason. But no, that is a good suggestion for Double Impact. I might do that. I'll probably take you up on that one.
I have to do something. I have to escape.
I'll keep you posted if there's any developments with that. Why did she do that? Get back in there. If there's any developments on that front. I'm currently quite ahead of the curve, really, with my sort of scheduling, so I'm trying to work out how to... This is sound ridiculous. I'm trying to work out how to top and tail November. Now, I've got a kids' film that I've never seen talked about before. I believe it's Australian. It's only 60 minutes long, but it looks ridiculous, and I'm hoping to do that in November. I've got a couple of kids' films actually I'm working on in November. Thanks for the offer, Raymond. Much appreciated. I think the apology note would actually go down quite well with these people. They're quite accepting of that sort of stuff. It'd still fire me, but they're probably like, well, you know what? He was such a nice guy. He even left an apology note about it. Hey, at least I suffered for my art on that one. You know, I've edutained somebody by introducing them to the sleaze-inducing world of Necromantic or Sarlo or there was one I saw today, and I really need to look it up. I actually really need to look it up. What was it called? I've saved it on my Google Chrome. 1 second. Right. It's it's sort of like an exploitation film, shot in the 70s and 80s kind of film style, though it's made in about 2017, and it's called right. Okay, so bear in mind this is the film title. It's called Fags in the Fast Lane, and I think it's a gay-sploitation film. About a load of drag queens who hijack a car and go cruising through America. It's a bit like Priscilla, Queen of the Desert, if it was less emotional, and directed by John Waters during his Divine years. it looks very tasteless and very extreme, and it looks like a lot of fun. It looks campy, and I can get behind campy. So that one, I'm going to try and get a copy of it. It looks like it might be region locked. If it is, I will just have to try and find some way to watch it somewhere else. But I always like to try and pay for stuff if I can, just because, you know, I like to support the industry to an extent. There are some films, especially the kind of stuff I talk about, there's some stuff that's just unavoidably, like, you're just going to have to use illicit means to get a hold of them. I think Raymond would probably agree with me on that. There are just some films out there that if you want to talk about them, the only way to get a hold of them is to either ask a friend of a friend or just go into YouTube and look it up. But yeah, I'm going to have to dig that film out because it looks like a lot of fun. I might, if you're interested, Ray, I'll try and message you it after the stream is done. It looks fun. That's all I can really say about it. It just looks like a fun film. Something that, you know, you get 2 or 3 beers, just sit down, maybe some nachos or something, and just blast through it. My only worry is... Oh, right. Controversial title time, Raymond. It's called... Oh, my phone sounds in. It's called Fags in the Fast Lane, and it's a gay-sploitation film about 3 drag queens who steal a truck and go on a high chase adventure. Basically, think of it as Priscilla, Queen of the Desert, but without the emotional attachment, and directed by John Waters during his Divine years. It looks like a lot of fun. It looks very controversial, but it looks like a lot of fun. The only downside is I think it's an Australian only or a US only release, so I don't know whether I'm going to be able to find a copy over here to play. I'm going to try and get it if I can. I don't know when I'll talk about it, but I'm going to try and get it. Tu Wong Fu. I will have to look that one up, man. I can't say I've heard of that one. What's the plot of that? Be interested to know. I think I'm actually at the end of the map here. That sounds like an amazing film. That sounds absolutely astounding. I take it it's a comedy. It's got to be a comedy. If it's not a comedy, that somehow makes it even better. Nah, I'm a big fan of sort of exploitation cinema and things like that. One of the main reasons I set up the Red Triangle was so that I could do films that were a little bit more out there in terms of what they're trying to achieve. Yes.
Anyone out there, you have to come to Camp Crystal Lake. Bring a gun. Oh, God, he's killing us. Jason's alive.
Thank you, dear. Right. Yeah, no, I set up the Red Triangle so that I could do more sort of controversial sort of cinema pieces like John Waters films and stuff like Time Adventure, films like that. So I always enjoy a little bit of exploitation now and then. It just helps keep the mix going. I always get this right. I always get this mixed up, and again, apologies. I'm a little bit tired tonight, and it's been a long day. Julie Newmar was one of the Catwomen from the 60s Batman series, wasn't she? It was Julie Newmar, Eartha Kitt, and Lee Merriweather. No, it wasn't Lee Merriweather. Was it Lee Merriweather? I don't know if it was. No, that's going to bother me. Let me go and hide somewhere, and I'm going to look it up. I've been watching the 60s Batman series now for about a year. I watched them as a kid all the time, but I got the box set for Christmas about 2 years ago. Ah, brilliant. Thank you, Raymond. You just saved me from hiding in a cupboard for 10 minutes whilst I look it up. I went to go and watch the... oh, wow, Easter eggs. That'll be why I didn't remember Merriweather as clearly. I've only ever seen the Batman movie twice. Once as a kid and once when I was about 14 years old. It was a good while ago. I need to dig that out again. As I say, I've been working my way through the 60s series now for about a year and a half, and I'm about halfway through season 2. So fun. Such a fun series. I went to go and watch the animated one, Return of the Caped Crusaders. I went to watch that in the cinema because they did a limited cinema screening over here, and that was a lot of fun as well. Just sort of sitting in the cinema with like-minded West fans and just getting into the vibe of it was pretty cool. It was pretty cool. It was weird though because it had an intro by Kevin Smith. And I kind of have a love-hate relationship with Kevin Smith. Oh God, he's here. Where am I going to hide? Why did I... Oh God, get away! Get away! Die! No, I have a bit of a love-hate relationship with Kevin Smith. Cool, a dead fella. On the one hand... Well, oh, I broke free. Wow. I got a second chance at life. That doesn't come around very often. He found Jason. Yep, there he goes. Yeah, no, I have a love-hate relationship with Kevin Smith. I adore Clerks and Clerks 2. I enjoy Clerks 2 more than Clerks. That's apparently a controversial opinion, but no, I really do enjoy Clerks 2 more than Clerks. I think it's got more range than the original Clerks. Although I understand and appreciate what the original Clerks stood for. Oh, what? Where's the item gone? Oh. Oh no. Oh dear. Oh dear. Well, that was... Alright. Yeah, no, I have a love-hate relationship with Kevin Smith films. On the one hand, there's Clerks 2, Dogma. I like Mallrats. Mallrats is a film that has a very special place in my heart. It was one of the first Kevin Smith films I saw, and it's also... a look at this message. It's cut the message off slightly on the stream, but I can dig it up on here. Ooh. Oh, wow. Yeah, I'll have to look that film up then, Ray. No, cheers for the heads up on that. I didn't know that somebody would have actually gone to the trouble of making a film called To Wong Fu, Thanks for Everything, Julie Newmar. Though that does sound like quite a catchy title, to be honest. I can live with that. Oh, it's all kicking off. Apparently he's everywhere. I don't know how he's everywhere, but he is. Yeah, on the one hand, I've been trying to say this now for the last 10 minutes. On the one hand, there's Clerks, Clerks 2, Dogma, Mallrats. I love those films. They are staples of my adolescence, and I took them into adult life, and I love them now to this day. They're still some of my favourite films. However, on the other side of the spectrum, there's films like Yoga Hosers and Tusk, and I read the script for Clerks 3, or I read a good chunk of the script for Clerks 3, and that did not look good. The fact that he made such a big deal about Mallrats 2, and then it changed from a film to a TV series, and then the TV series was being really heavily promoted before it was even shot, and then it suddenly wasn't happening. Stuff like that, it's really kind of disenchanted me to him as a director. I didn't know that Kevin Smith actually said back when I made good movies as a regular thing. It could well be both. I think at the minute he's in a situation where he doesn't necessarily need to make money. He's not got that hunger as a director. I think he's just making films for himself and his friends for fun at this point. And there's nothing wrong with that, because, you know, I have the choice to either watch it or not watch it, but at the same time, it does make me feel a little bit sort of sad that, you know, this very, at least what I assume, this very intelligent filmmaker, who rose up out of nothing to become, you know, Kevin Smith, has kind of settled into a rut where he's just making sort of semi-lucid stoner comedies about Nazi sausages. I mean, that in and of itself sounds like a pretty neat 10-minute YouTube video. It does not sound like a good hour-and-a-half long film starring his daughter and Johnny Depp's daughter. I mean, he's been threatening to make Moose Jaws for the last 3 or 4 years. In fact, it might even be longer at this point. I've completely lost track of how long he's been saying he's been going to try to make Moose Jaws, which is a shot-for-shot remake of Jaws, but with a moose. That's the whole film. I just...
Help! Oh God!
I can't justify him. I can't justify him.
You want some more?
When on the opposite end of the spectrum, you know, filmmakers like David Lynch can produce, like, Inland Empire, disappear for about 10 years, and then come back and do Twin Peaks Season 3, and it be of as high a quality as it was. I just do not have the patience for Kevin Smith to sort of be the way he is. I wouldn't mind if he was at least a bit gracious about it. If he sort of took the negative criticism of his work and just sort of went, well, some people like it, some people don't. That's fine. It's the fact that his attitude seems to be, why don't you like these films? And I've seen him quite a few times, like, hit back at critics who've said that his films have been in decline. Just because, you know, they gave him a mediocre review. I think that if he was a bit more gracious in it, I'd just kind of let him get on with it, but it's the fact that he's sort of shown himself to be a bit precious about his work, when it's, like you say, like Yoga Hosers, it was too long, and it's just random humour. Although I put that largely down to the fact that he's been high as a kite for about 3 years. Probably longer. When was Zack and Miri made a porno? That was when he started on weed. Have a look at that. Oop. Whoopsie doodle. 1 second. This was the infamous film where Kevin Smith was involved, and he ended up with Seth Rogen, who introduced him to weed, and then he just pretty much went downhill from there. 2008. So he's been smoking weed now for about 10 years. And I know there was a story that came out recently where he had a heart attack, and they said that smoking weed basically saved his life. But it's almost certainly killed his career. The thing is, I don't know whether, had he not done weed, he would have had the same decline or not. I think, personally, he would have declined either way, but I think the drugs have accelerated the process. Paul McCartney once famously said, "Right high, edit sober," and I don't think that he does. Kevin Smith, that is, not Paul McCartney. I don't think he does drugs really anymore. But yeah, no, Yoga Hosers, I agree with you, Raymond, on that point. It was way too long. Seth and Beth make a movie. That is a great title for that film. It's almost an anti-film. I don't like that kind of movie. In all honesty, it's not my cup of tea. Mainstream comedies tend to be... There was a time where mainstream comedies could be very entertaining. You'd get films like the Naked Gun films, and Airplane, and Blazing Saddles, and Young Frankenstein, and The Producers, and a great string of mainstream comedy films. I mean, I know that he's a bit infamous nowadays, but Woody Allen's comedy films are tremendously good fun, and they were considered mainstream. But something happened around the 90s, the late 80s into the 90s, that just killed the mainstream comedy. Dead. I think it was probably around the time Scary Movie came out. Mafia. I don't think I have seen Mafia. Let me look it up. Mafia. Film. No, I haven't seen Mafia. But taking a very quick look at the poster and the plot, it sounds very much like something I'd be interested in. I'm a big fan of gangster movies, things like Goodfellas and... what was the other one? There was another one I really like, and it was done by... Let's have a quick look at my shelf. It was done by Duke Mitchell, and it was a mafia movie, and I cannot remember the title of it to save my life, so I'm going to have a very quick look it up of the title. It was Duke Mitchell... There was 2 films Duke Mitchell produced, and I liked both of them. There was Gone with the Pope, which was a great one. Massacre Mafia Style. Highly recommend you check out Massacre Mafia Style if you get a chance. It's a very, very good mafia film, because Duke Mitchell was like a... when he started off, he was like a knockoff Abbott and Costello duo. He was with somebody else, and they basically just did sort of like an Abbott and Costello routine, but low rent. And then they sort of broke up, and he disappeared for years, because they were doing this in the sort of 50s and 60s. He disappeared for years and turned up in the early 80s, late 70s as a professional film director. And he made I think 2 or 3 films, but the 2 that will always stand out is Massacre Mafia Style, which is just a straight mafia film, but it's really fun, like a really fun film. And Gone with the Pope, which is ridiculous. It's about a a mafia hitman who gets out of jail and he decides to go clean, but he gets persuaded by his gangster friends to do one last hit, and that's to kidnap the Pope and charge every Catholic in the world $1 for his release. And it's as crazy as you could imagine it being. It's a low-rent, really cheap film. I'm going to talk about it at some point. I don't know when. It's in there somewhere, but it's such good fun. I recommend both of those films, but sorry, I went off on a tangent. To answer your question, no, I have not seen Mafia, but I will now. Really? I didn't know that it was made by the Zucker writers on Airplane. Well, the two non-Zucker writers on Airplane. Well, that's certainly an incentive to go and dig it out. Airplane is such a fun film. Very overlooked these days. I think a lot of people forget that Airplane is as fun and as crammed as it is. There are so many jokes in Airplane. It's ridiculous. That and Police Squad are just non-stop. It's just joke, and you can barely get your breath. They cram that much stuff in, from visual gags to puns to play on words to just Leslie Nielsen being who he is. Real good fun. Now you've sold me on that one. No Trouble Man. I think this will probably be my last match, but you know how long these matches are going on for. It's like 20 to 30 minutes, so yeah, No Trouble. Oh, we've kind of gone on a bit of a tangent tonight, but I think it's been all right. I'm digging tonight. We've got a good vibe going on. Why this apple? There's a man here called Why This Apple. Excuse me. I don't think it's me. Might be me. No, it's not. That's a shame. Wait a minute, why am I part 6
them,
Jason?
Jason. Make them pay
I
for what
shouldn't be
they
part
did
6
to us.
Jason. I don't like part 6 Jason. I don't like the fact he can't run. It's like hard mode, basically. Boom. Hello. Don't mind me, love. Only come to read the meter. Found you. Peekaboo! Bye-bye. You don't win this game, Raymond. You struggle through until you get bored. I think it's like, realistically, I win probably one of every, like, 8 games. But this time around I'm playing as Jason, and things are going pretty well so far. I've just killed my first person, I'm only like 2 minutes into the game. But I'm playing as a Jason that I don't like playing as. Here's number 2. So technically I'm winning now just by picking these people off, but... Yeah, as the counsellor, you're at a massive disadvantage.
They deserve to die, Jason. Make them suffer.
Oh, there's some over there. Let's try not to cause a fuss, shall we? Didn't lock the door.
Hello?
That's your first
Hello?
mistake, mate.
Oh God, please! Oh God, help us! Jason's real! Please help us!
Howdly doodly do. Oh! You stabbed me with a knife.
Your gift is, no matter what
Get back
they do
here.
to you, you cannot die. You can never die.
Where have you got? Oh, he's blooming locked the... This is going to take a while. Where is he? I've downloaded Scream, Raymond. I haven't actually watched it just yet. The reason why is I've been sort of knee-deep in catching up with my schedules. I've been so far behind. I've been so far behind with my upload stuff recently because I was ill for like 3 weeks and I couldn't write or watch anything without feeling like I was going to die. So I've been basically sort of mad catching up with everything. I'm now ahead of schedule and I'm starting to watch films again for fun, which is, you know, nice. I mean, I watch films for fun when I review them, but I will get round to it eventually. I've got it on my list. I've got like a folder that's just called films to watch at some point, and it's in there. Sorry, I completely forgot what I'm doing. Aha! Let's go get him. That's another one down.
Don't stop, Jason. They deserve to die. Make them suffer like we did.
Yeah, that's one of the things with my my recommendations list. I promise you I will always get round to watching the films that people recommend. If anybody posts a film they want me to review, I will always review it. Oh! Got you! Yeah! I will always get round to reviewing it. I will always watch any films that are recommended to me. It's just I have so many films to watch at the minute, and so much TV I need to catch up on. It's just a case of whenever I can fit them in. I always prioritise recommendations over normal reviews unless something really interesting comes along, like, I don't know, say I land on some long forgotten awful masterpiece. But I always prioritise recommendations. It's just finding time to fit everything in. I've got about half a dozen films to recommend that have been recommended to me to watch. Oh, I got shot. But yes, I enjoyed She. I thought it was a fun little film, and I can only thank you. You know, I can't really thank you enough for bringing it to my attention, because I would have completely passed over that had you not pointed it out to me. So cheers again, man, for that one. Let's try and get her. Oh, he got me again.
Take you from me, Jason. Don't let them.
Eh. Well, she's off down there, but I'm gonna get her. I'm gonna get her. Come here. Yeah! That's usually the best way to find out whether the film's any good, is to look at the screenshots and see if there's anything interesting in them. A load of Amazons standing around is usually a pretty good sign.
To die. Make them suffer like we did.
What bloody hell are they then? Xenons. Yeah, that Xenon or Xenon is the main thing I remember from that film. I don't know whether that's a good thing or not. I'm just going to catch these guys because they don't know I'm here. Ah. There we go. Yeah, he's terrifying in Xenon Xenon. I enjoy his time, his presence tremendously. He's the only thing that really solidly sticks in my mind about that film. And he will never leave. He just dances in my head forever. Let me come back into the house. Let me come back in. I got you. Only 5 flares at me.
Get up,
Why do you do that?
find them, kill them.
Oh!
They want to hurt you, Jason. Don't let them.
Right, come here, you. You are going down. One of the ones I really did enjoy about that film, I did enjoy the bit with the werewolves in She, where they end up in that country house where they're all basically dressed up as, like, they're in togas, but some are dressed like Georgians, and it's like a bit of a mishmash of history. The fight scene was so surreal. Oh, get here. Got you.
Don't stop, Jason. They deserve to die. Make them suffer like we did.
Got him. Oh, bloody pocket knife.
Jason. Don't let them.
I think he's cutting his losses. I think he's done. I killed 7 of 8. I'll let him live, I think. I could chase after him. I don't want to give him the satisfaction of getting a trophy. There's a trophy you can get where if you go right up to the gates and the police shoot you, you get a trophy because they shot Jason. I'm quite happy to walk away with my 90% on that one.
That's okay, Jason. There will be others. Come home to Mommy.
Let's have a look. Nice! Hey, no, that's good to hear, man. I wish I was in a similar situation. As it stands, most of the people who I work with are all kind of big on reality television and mainstream films, and that's about it. And when I say big on mainstream films, I don't mean like superhero films or horror films. I mean stuff like Mamma Mia. That's pretty much the demographic I'm working with at the minute. I mean, even in my old job, when I was working in post-production, I was still considered a bit of an oddity because everybody who I worked with was like big on indie horror films or Marvel and DC movies, and that was about it. I was the only person coming in going, hey, have you guys seen Phantom from Space? No. Alright, well, okay, I'll go back to my corner. But yeah, no, it's good, man, that you met somebody who actually kind of got that kind of thing. It's very rare that you find stuff like that these days. Which 2 movies were they, by the way? I'd be interested in giving them a watch when the stream's finished. Which is actually probably going to be pretty soon, because I've just realised that it's 25 past 11, and I said I was going to do about an hour and a half, and I've ended up doing nearly 2 hours. In fact, I might go and wander around the reality house just for a few minutes. I'll round it up to probably about 2 hours, and then I'll leave it there. Virtual cabin. Let's go and have a wander around the virtual cabin. But yeah, no, I'd be interested in knowing what those 2 reviews that you did together were. I'd go and check them out once the stream's done, man. No trouble at all. You take your time. Ooh, hello. Oh. Okay, well, he's dead. Everyone is dead. Space and Ah dear. They've had some laughs. But yeah, I really enjoy the virtual cabin in this game. It's really neat. It's almost like a very affectionate tribute to all of the Friday the 13th games that sort of came, all the Friday the 13th films that have been and gone. Sure. But, Jason's mother was down here somewhere.
Congratulations on completing the virtual cabin. In the future, we might update the space to reveal what's behind those two curtains. But for now, we just want to say thank you for playing and invite you to stay as long as you would like.
Cool. Cool. What is over here? Oh dear. Now I shall look up Raiders of Atlantis and The Borrower then. Raymond, cheers for putting that one up there. I can't say I've seen those two. I occasionally sort of flick on and go through a few of the videos that you've got up on there, because you've got a hell of a lot of them, so it takes a bit of time to work my way through. But yeah, no, I'll be sure to look those two up, man. No, cheers for sharing. Why is that door locked? Alright. Huh. Yeah, I love the virtual cabin. It's just full of references to other Friday the 13th films. A lot of good stuff. But yeah, I think with this, I'm going to end the stream very shortly. So I would like to thank everyone who's popped in over the course of the 2 hours nearly that we've been going. In fact, it will be 2 hours in about 5 seconds. Boom. Thank you everybody so much for joining us today. There'll probably be another one next week at some point. I'm thinking probably making these sort of Tuesdays or Wednesdays, if all is well. It seems pretty solid that I'll have some time free on those days going forward. So I might see you next Tuesday or Wednesday, or at some point very soon in the future. So thank you so much for watching. And I will catch you on Friday when we have a creature feature going up, I believe, which should be pretty good fun. So, take care everyone, thanks again, and goodbye.